Hello, everyone, and welcome to SHITE, episode 4, the story of Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker from Judgement Day 2002. Once again, it's me, Andy Ogden, and joining us, my mate, Matty. Hello, Matty.
How are we, Andy? Back again for another episode of Shite, mate. And once again, at the end of this, shite or no shite, I'm interested today, mate, on this because, without jumping too far ahead, you look at this on the tin, on the marquee, especially in 2002, with two names that are not universally liked, more for good reason than other. And you've got that, and it's like, this should be shite. Everything about it should be shite. And don't get me wrong, there's some fucking hilarious bits on the way. We're going to have a good laugh about this. But ultimately, though, at the end, will it be shite? We will, in about an hour to an hour and a half time, we'll answer that, mate. But always good to be on here with you, mate. And hoping you're doing well, of course, as always.
Doing well, mate. Got a nice sunken tan. It's nice. Maybe all the beer rust.
Yeah,
I would say.
So them stouts coming out of your fucking skin, mate. And porters.
So, as we left it last time on episode 3, we did Backlash 2002. Hulk Hogan had won the title, and The Undertaker had just beaten Steve Austin in a 30-minute classic.
Oh, honestly, obviously two of me favourites, and even I can't defend that one. And because I fucking hell, mate, I'm bored. It was just boring, wasn't it? That was the word to describe. That was fucking boring.
It's easily one of the worst matches I've seen on rewatch this year, and I watch a load of crap.
Yeah, but that's just once again for two high-profile stars. You just don't expect it. But as you say, the layout, like wrestling, though, them two wrestling, just brawl. And 30 minutes, it was just, it was boring.
This event takes place on 19th of May 2002 from the Bridgestone Arena, Tennessee. And this is the end match, and now called the Gaylord Entertainment Center, yes. which I found out. It's also the first pay-per-view under the WWE name, which we mentioned last time about the demise of WWF due to the Pandas. At this time, it always a good segment. This UK #1 single at the time.
Yeah, come on.
Here we go. If tomorrow never comes.
Who it is? Ronan.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Took me a second to get on who that was. Ronan Keaton last. See, once again, Andy, I only watched the first episode of that Boyzone doc that you told me to watch. That's the only one on YouTube. So I'll watch that. Obviously, they might be there now. I'll have to double it. But it was good. But was never really into Ronan as a singles, Was never into him live. What about yourself?
No, never a Boyzone fan. Nothing at all.
No, I was Boyzone over Westlife though, and if we're going there, if we're going deep, I was Boyzone over. Never on the Westlife hype train. Thought you just pushed too quick, too soon. Don't know what the equivalent is in wrestling terms, but just didn't like. And didn't like them. And they had like 7 #1s or something in a row, rivaled the Beatles. Obviously, don't love the Beatles either, but it was just like, just Boyzone all the way for me. But once Ronan left and had that singles push, was hardly Roman Reigns, was it, mate, when he broke out of the Shield? You know what I mean? Eventually, who was saying, well, saying that, he did have a few, I say this was #1. He had the Notting Hill soundtracks. He got a big push himself, but not a fan of Ronan, no. Preferred, what was it, Keith and Shane, Gil, You Know It's True, the Milli Vanilli cover. He done that, didn't he? The lads.
UK #1 album at the time was a cracker. The Last Broadcast by Doves.
See, I know. Once again, I'm still stuck in 2002 music-wise, but the Doves and all that never really done bands like that. And what are we talking like? Like good, like
genuinely. Yeah. No, Doves are very good. We've seen them. Bloody hell, probably a couple of times. I remember. Jeff chatting to 2 of them whilst watching the Stone Roses at Eaton Park.
Okay.
But they've made a comeback now. Jimmy Goodwin, who's the lead singer, he's not been doing the tours because, you know, health issues and stuff. I'm sure they could have sat him down like Ozzy Osbourne for that Black Sabbath gig.
It's one of them, though. I knew they were English, though, and I just had to double check, but I knew there was a reason why I didn't do them, because they were fucking British.
Trust me, they don't do any.
I really should change my ways after like nearly 40 years on this planet. I really should open my mind at some point. It will happen one day, I am sure.
I don't think they did any versions of One Step Closer to the Edge or,
No.
or fucking Disturbed. So Hulk Hogan and the Undertaker, their big face-off years before this was a Survivor Series 1990, and also Tuesday night in Texas. Now
91, I'm sorry.
91, sorry.
Yeah. Debut of Taker was 90, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the correction there.
No worries, mate.
It's one of my vivid memories as a child watching WWF at the time was Hogan losing the title, and like, I hope he gets it back on the Tuesday night, which you know he surely did. But can you remember that time?
Oh yeah, this was like I think I remember saying like WrestleMania 7 is my first vivid memory at the time of watching wrestling, when I would have been like 4, not even 5 years of age. I just remember that being on, and then I remember watching Tuesday in Tech, because that was on like a Tuesday night on Sky. Pretty sure it was on Sky One. We were on Sky Sports. I'm pretty sure it was on Sky One. And I remember being shit scared of the Undertaker when I was a kid, like proper fucking scared to death of him. And like I always remembered that like the, obviously not taking it in as you do now, the controversy of what happened, and it just being like he was the champion and being, as I say, shit scared of him. But looking back now, like even with an older head, it was a mad time, wasn't it? Like Taker getting that monster push, the gravest challenge as well, Survivor Series 9. I always remember that video as well, the video cover, just the two big faces with like, I'm sure like the gravest challenge was, and like, you know, like the purple box, but it was shaped as a little coffin. I'm pretty sure it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And just honestly takes me back to the time, and I'm jumping about it, but takes me back in time with the videos of my dad as well, like I've mentioned years back. But Survivor, I've probably seen Tuesday in Texas before Survivor Series, and have to go back and fill the blanks, you know, as you do when you're grown up watching on a Coliseum video and stuff like that. But yeah, just a crazy time. I say Taker getting that push, beating Hogan. I know it was all shenanigans, and Hogan being that heel that he is in the ring, shenanigans with the urn and the ashes out the urn at Tuesday in Texas and that, and getting the roll up. But it was all good story to get to the Royal Rumble winner, and just having that Rumble for the WWF title as well, which is obviously the second best Rumble of all time, of course, 1992, the second best after 2001. But,
we're not going to discuss about that today, but I always go with IWC 1990.
Of course, we'll expect a little less of you, lad. We'll expect it.
One thing I do find fascinating, or it might just be my own memory, but Undertaker and Hulk Hogan didn't fight against each other much, did they? Really, apart from them.
Yeah,
them two.
I think them two and this only 3 times, isn't it, that they have matches in the whole career, which is, unless you count the one in Suburban Commando, Andy, and there's 4. You know what I mean? But no, but it is for 2 high profile, and like as you say, like, but they're linked together because of that 91 and because of this. You know, Undertaker beat him, you know, twice and he only had, I think it's 7 reigns Undertaker had in history, and 2 of them's beating Hulk Hogan. So yeah, it's they're locked together for that reason, mate. Yeah, but you would have thought they would have had more matches, of course.
Yeah, and lo and behold, in Suburban Commando, Hulk Hogan got the victory in the rubber match in the 90s.
Of course, he probably was remembering that, Andy. Yeah, that was 1-1, and then he had to get it back. Probably
had to go to a different territory to like fucking Warrior, innit?
Terrible, absolutely awful.
So our story of, actually, it's on YouTube. It's off TH14 once again.
Of course.
Doing the Lord's work.
Always give them the shout out, that channel, Andy. It's fucking unbelievable. People say about the WWE Vault, and rightfully so, and the WWE Vault, but that TH14, mate, that is one of the best channels on the entirety of YouTube. Unbelievable stuff.
What, I think an hour and 4 minutes. So it's not it's not a hefty one. I'd say 2-3 like bloodline 4 hours.
No, it genuinely is, and as we saying there, yeah. And he is a 7-time champion. I just have to double check my own brain there. He is 7-time champ taker. But yeah, it is. You're right. It literally is from. That's what it's this 2002 period as well. It seemed like, all right, it started at Backlash. It literally is a month feud. That's all, and then they don't cross paths again after this. It's literally 1 month and we're done. And they're like obviously with the capitalizing on Hogan's popularity and the comeback and then beating Triple H and the flip flop and the title around to get it off that to take it, and then you'd think back to Triple H, but they don't go there until they obviously create a championship for him, because God forbid we can't leave him without a world title. But it's a month, as you say, 3 or 4 week build, if that. Like it's crazy, really.
So it opens up with Flair getting side-eyed by Workman for his error against Steve Austin. Undertaker comes up, says thanks. Flair not wanting any of it. We go to Undertaker getting watted as he does an in-ring promo. Says without his help, Hogan wouldn't have won the title as well. But there were a lot of interference in that main event.
Jericho comes down, doesn't he?
Jericho, yeah.
But can I mention about Taker as well? Like he was, there's I think it's just before it's in the Austin feud. And I don't know whether we touched on it last month with Michael, but he hated them watch chants. And there's one on YouTube, isn't he? Say, what if you sleep with your own sister? He's fucking fuming. He doesn't like it at all.
He promises to be judge, jury, and executioner.
Love it
at Judgment Day. Good line, that one.
It was the tagline for the pay per view as well, so it's selling that and it makes sense with him. Love it, love that hand.
This is generally a monthly thing, but Fashion Corner now. As an overly dressed Triple H comes out. Now look at this. Look, a leather jacket, a jean jacket, trackies, and a wet air combo. Yeah, now, would have you rocked up in any of this in the rock clubs of Liverpool, Matty?
I'm telling you now, and I'm devastated. I am being honest as the day is long here. That fucking leather with the denim waistcoat over it, mate. That was the look. I want to rock it now, but I still haven't got the bottle to do it. Like I bought a denim waistcoat once in my life, and I didn't have the bottle to wear it over then. And like I just honestly didn't have the bottle and got rid of it. But with the trackies is a no-no. Don't get me wrong. It's a fashion faux pas, that one. We need it with the jeans. We need it with the boots. We don't want it with the fucking trackies with the zip at the bottom, like flares, like flared trackies. Awful. Like fucking terrible stuff.
They were a bit like them, what they call Kappa, weren't it?
Yeah.
You know,
the buttons instead of zips even, yeah.
Yeah. Triple H, a big Kappa fan back in the day.
Oh, but I'll not have a bad word said about the leather jacket and denim waistcoat combo. Never, Andy. Love that. Loved it.
So Triple H comes out to remonstrate with the Undertaker. It has a bit of a big brawl, this, with Undertaker getting busted open.
This is one and I remember vividly. Like I remember at the time, and I think it ties in. I think a few people like in shoot interviews have said. I think Foley's a bit down on this time in WWE. It's like, because they're literally TNA aren't even in existence yet. There's nobody else around. They can have these longer angles on, like, it's not like, like in the Attitude Era or even in the Invasion where it's quite snappy, the matches, we're going back and forth, we're having these angles, the backstage pre-tapes, these are having long fucking winded angles, like, and I enjoyed them. Like, especially looking back, so I had this in my mind of like, I can't remember this being any really good, but when I watched it back, I loved this, you know what I mean? I loved it. Weird Undertaker, for everyone says about him, he doesn't put no one over. Like Undertaker, I know it's for Triple H, but he's like in peril here. He's selling his ass off, isn't he? He's getting destroyed by Triple H. Like it's weird to see from in that regard. Undertaker just on the back foot, like.
So it goes backstage, and Triple H wallops Taker with a sledgehammer, but he tries to do it again, like proper cave his head in. Security come and escort Triple H out the building. Now, obviously, he's agreed at losing the title, but we've hardly seen sight and a sound of Hogan at the moment. You're thinking, oh, is this just going to set up Undertaker and Triple H again? That's sort of like, that would have been, I'm trying to think now, that would have been 1 year on from the WrestleMania 17, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. But that's where you look at it both ways, and then you go, I'm looking at it from an on-screen point of view and going, all right, he's number one contender, but someone would be aggrieved. Someone would want it, costing the world title. I love that. I hate the shows where, like, over the year, like, Cena would come out laughing. Oh, it wasn't me night last night. I'll get the title back. No, I'd be fucking like Austin. I'd be fucking fuming if I lost the world title. They were coming out downplaying it. You meant to give a shit. So, from that regard, I like Triple H coming out fucking fuming. But then, off screen, it's Triple H wanting to look great the night after at the same time. So it's like a double flip coin for me there. Like, I don't know which way to go on it, but it's either way. You're right, aren't you, there with that? But once again, it's just seeing Undertaker just begging off and stuff like that, just wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
But that sort of like a year ago, it seems like in another, time frame.
Because in that year, you'd had the Invasion come and go. You'd had then the NWO coming in. You'd had all this in a year, like in a year span. It was all done. Now it'd get dragged out for how many? It'd just be years upon years, wouldn't it? Like, it's different time frame, mate, different.
Whereas like nowadays we're on series 5 of the Bloodline, aren't we?
We are, mate. No, yeah, we are. Still a good watch like hand, and still won't jacking it. Yeah, the MFTs, me family tree. Maybe it's not the official Bloodline, but maybe it's a spin-off. Maybe this was Frazier coming out of Cheers. You know what I mean? That's what we'll go with on this one.
Yeah. The what's funny about the actual pay-per-view coming up, the Judgment Day 2002, is Triple H. This is the one with the Hell in a Cell versus Jericho.
With Jericho, which we touched. We touched on obviously the WrestleMania, didn't we?
Yeah.
The WrestleMania feud there, but yeah, they're still finishing off that rivalry at the same time. So it's always one of them O2 to look back on. Just a lot of big stars like your Kurt Angles of the world and in mid-card situations, with this. So there's a lot of names around.
Yeah. So next up we have a Hogan promo saying Triple H deserves a rematch. Brother, thanks fans, brother, rips his shirt off. But the follow-up was on SmackDown, similar promo again. He wants that night a rematch with Triple H for the title in Peroiwa. I didn't get the state, but one of my notes is one of them bumfuck towns AEW Collision runs in 2025.
And gets just under 1,000 spectators. And I mean, I don't usually bite, like, but I was on Twitter last night and fair play. Why is it every podcast I go on and I end up talking about AEW? You know what I mean? I want it to thrive. I want it to do well. Do you know what I mean? But it's that, and fair play this weekend, 20,000 spectators. Nothing to be sniffed at in a 40,000 arena. But regardless of that, it's nothing to be sniffed at. 20,000 tickets. And then I look. And genuinely, this is like just the ups and downs of the wrestling business. You see that, and then looked on WrestleTix to see, well, how the TV's doing after this, or maybe can they get a spike? Can they get a run going here? I know the creative's been amazing lately. I'm thinking, can the business, follow up on this unbelievable number that they're doing? And then they sold under 1,000 tickets for some of the Dynamite, Andy, coming up in the next month. Not even Collisions, and I'm like, that just shows you how wild. And they can't even if they get a spike or get some sort of buzz off this pay-per-view, they can't, because they're only set up for like 1,500 people in these arenas. So it just literally shows you how mad it is, the model that they're going for, AEW. So it's crazy, like. But
then again, not to sway off topic too much, but
I was going to say, let's get back onto the
will do. But final part on AEW, I think the smaller buildings looking a bit more fuller. It's improved the.
It's better. It is. It's better. Of course it is. They should have been doing it a long time ago. It's well better.
Triple H time now, but huge Hogan chants. No one gives a toss about Triple H. I love that as Triple H points to the belt, which, giving stakes in it. Someone wants the belt, even though I want it back.
But this is the thing, and this is where people. I don't have a go at no one, but like, you don't like someone, you don't like someone. You don't like wrestlers, you don't like wrestlers. But as you say in there, people look at Triple H Hogan in the ring and they just dismiss it. But you're right, it makes sense, doesn't it? These people aren't just coming out on telly and like just filling air or filling shite. They're going for the title. It's stuff like that does make sense. And as you say, he wants the title back, even though he's got Jericho on his mind. I like that, though. You should always want to be the champion, shouldn't you?
Yeah. The lads go nose to nose as Hogan is literally stood at the other end of the ring because of Triple H's nose ties. But Vince is here, who pulls a crowd who want to see it. Vince can't give them the match, but tells Hogan that he needs to defend the title in a week versus either Triple H or the living legend Chris Jericho. Which
I'm
I
sure
think
there was the lawsuit, weren't they? Yeah, there was a lawsuit by Larry Zedler. Didn't like that one bit, did he?
Yeah, he hated it. So Triple H and Jericho ends up with Taker interfering as Jericho rolls up Triple H for the 3. Obviously, it's going to be a screwy finish.
Of course.
With Paul not wanting to put over Jericho much. After the match, Taker choke slams Triple H and the walls of Jericho. Hogan makes a save and clotheslines Taker out and over into the crowd. One note I did put here: this fucking crowd was molten hot for this.
Honestly, and once again, like, you can't downplay. Like, you look back now and go, "Well, Hulk Hogan won the title," and even from a story sense, it's good. But the fans, Andy, wanted it. This is the thing. That's why, like, I always, it's remarkable. Like people say about Triple H being the master politician. No, Hogan is the master of all time. Triple H, I always say, it's one of my biggest. He just won the title at WrestleMania after a year-long career-threatening injury, all that big build-up, and within a month, Hogan had beat him. Like, I still get that, like, he just got outmastered, didn't he, by Hogan, like, but it was deserved that the fans, like, them Canada standing ovations and all these SmackDowns, like, you could tell that, like, and it weren't Hogan fucking up, really, although he did on the mic most times in these tape SmackDown eras, but you can tell it's the edits are, like, because the fans are cheering him too long and they just need to fill the time, like, because they were just giving him standing ovations everywhere he went at the time, like, it was wild.
One thing from watching some of these highlights, SmackDown seemed a good show at the time, didn't it?
SmackDown was better than Raw in 2002. It was. It really, really was.
Yeah. So next up on Raw, Undertaker meets old Bob Slaughter.
I love this. I love this.
On the blower.
Who was he ringing to? Who do we reckon he's on the phone to?
Oh,
Probably that golf tournament he used to organise every year, getting all the head for that golf tournament, really. Oh, Bobby.
Undertaker's unhappy with Sarge that he's friends with Hogan nowadays, even though they'd had the battles in the past over the Iraq War and what have you.
I love that nod to the past, like, because people think WWE never do that or never did do that, like, you know what I mean? They do it now a lot under Triple H, but they were doing it. I like that little touch, like, you know, you went to battles, many wars with Hogan back in the day, but you become friends, got that respect thing going on. Just to try and intimidate Sarge when he take it here. It worked a little bit, but it wasn't like Sarge was running away or nothing from him, which was good, like.
Yeah, and then like Sarge goes off to find Hogan, and Undertaker just stares at him like, give me the phone.
He takes the phone off him, basically, doesn't he? That's the whole gist of it. He like, doesn't bully him, but kind of takes the phone call off him, and Slaughter just backs down. But liked it. I like this little angle, and
obviously still in the day of when we probably had phone boxes.
Yeah, purely. Never, once again, never got them phone cards, Andy. Never. Was always that 20p, mate, or like 10 penga in the phone box, definitely.
Always used to be about a 50p. I think I did have a phone card, but yeah, once you get a mobile, it's like we don't need them anymore.
But remember, they started putting an actual countdown on your money in the phone box. That was better, though, wasn't it? Because sometimes, at least you knew. I'll see you later tonight now, and then put the phone. But back in the day, it'd just go off, wouldn't it? Before them, like, so I like that little touch you put in there, mate.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think now. You know what? One of the only times I used a phone box, one of the last times, was when I got mugged in Manchester for my phone and lost my phone, and I had to use the bloody phone box across the road from the Arndale Centre to ring me dad up.
Did you? I didn't know about the story. I didn't know you got it. You got mugged there, mate. Was it 9 people like in Syracuse, or was it like 66 people? What was it?
66 Navy SEALs all battered me around the Arndale. No, it was after an example concert. I was walking back from the Apollo, past the Arndale, got accosted by two blokes who took my phone.
Yeah.
It was going to another country, but thankfully, I'd like the security key on the. So it got. Someone picked it up at Manchester Airport, and I managed to get it back.
What year was this? About 2009, then, if it was example?
No, bloody hell. 2013 or 14. Yeah.
Well, the no example was still going then after that. Sorry, not the fact that you got mugged. I'm just more surprised. Example was fucking still going then. Sorry.
Yeah, no, he's still going now, mate.
Is he?
The love kick starts again.
Oh, that's a big tune. Like, that's a big tune. Gotta give him that one.
Yeah. So that's the story of. And to end the night, I got picked up by my dad, but I was bawling my eyes out. Like first time it's ever happened to me. No fucking sympathy for me dad.
No, what did he say? Man up, get on with it.
Man up. It's your own bloody fault for going out.
Yeah, you know what, mate? Yeah. No, do you know right now? Look at you now, mate. You know, it's molded you into this fine man that you are today, mate. So
yeah, I'm always a nervous wreck. Always a nervous wreck when I go past the Arndale. Now I'll go a different route from. Yes,
fair play. All joking aside, mate. Fair play.
Play. Anyway, as mentioned with Fashion Corner earlier, what is it with waistcoat and hoodie combos? Like it was like the aces and eights before the aces and eights, weren't it?
Once again, Andy, I can't lie, mate. You know, too. I was copying him just to hold up all the way. I was there. I loved Biker, Big Evil Taker. Loved this Undertaker. Like always liked them, but I loved this period of them as well. Was banged into him.
He was well into the Support Nomads motorcycle group.
Mine were playing black hoodies. I will have everyone know.
The knockoff Hulk Hogan tune.
Oh, it's bad, isn't it? Knockoff Voodoo Child, innit? It's so bad.
Yeah.
Jimmy Hart wouldn't be proud of this one. He wouldn't. It's bad.
You know what? At least obviously after Real American and Voodoo Child, his best one after that is the TNA one.
No, listen. Real American made, Andy. There was something unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
NWO, Voodoo Child, and the TNA one. He's probably got the best 5-1 Hogan. You know, on the slag corner here on the fly. Yeah, the best 5-1 themes of all time. No one's had 5 bangers like that. No one. I'm not asked who it is. You can stick CM Punks up your ass. You can stick whoever up your ass. How good's that TNA Hogan feed of Andy says? I love that Twitter thing though. Like anyone who doesn't do a job, and it's just that theme over it. It fucking gets me every time. Unbelievable.
So here we have Taker backing off from Hogan after being punched, but Taker later has none of it, and he busts Hogan up with a belt buckle, whipping him like a government mule, as JR would say on commentary.
Love it. Loved this. Loved it. Always remembered it as well. The buckle over the fist makes sense. Realistic angle, Andy, to get blood. Thumbs up for me, like we loved it.
So Hogan tries to Hulk up, but gets planted again, gets choked with the strap, choke slammed, which, fairness to Hulk on this, fairness to Terry, he gets some height on this choke slam.
Yeah, it'll gradually get lower and lower and lower as we go along here, and he did cut the camera angle to make it look better as well. So not sticking up for him in that regard. Just jump, just fucking jump.
I'm not got it here, but Hulk Hogan's selling at times. You know, when he is busted open, he always looks like he's just got woken up from an 8-hour sleep. You know what I mean?
Reaching out as well. Reaching out for like that glass of water or that flask of water at the side of the bed, Andy, as well, on the couch.
Oh, dry mouth.
And he always still manages to flick whatever's left of his hair back as well, don't he? To make it look even fucking, you know.
He's a good juicer, isn't he?
Oh, he is. Well up for that, like. Always well up for that, Hogan, to be fair to him. And yeah, I love this angle. Effective angle building along the way, you know, heel just beating down the baby face, you know, loved it.
Taker arrives on his bike on his way back down.
Here's where it gets good now, Andy.
Yeah.
Here's where it gets good.
The lad who gave his keys to lost his bike, and it ends up being Hulk Hogan takes his bike. Hogan promo now. Taker says if Hogan doesn't get off his bike, he's going to batter Hogan. Hulk calls Taker a bitch. So Taker's at the top end of the ramp.
Yes, Hogan's at the bottom of the ramp on the bike where Taker usually parks. Yeah.
So Hogan says, enough of this. If you're not going to come to me, I'm going to come for you, brother. So he puts the key in the ignition and fucking hell, the bike stalls, doesn't it?
Hilarious, Andy. How funny is it though, mate? It just goes, doesn't it? Not even like 15 yards and it's gone on it. He must have done, I'll say, I've never been on a motorcycle in my life, so I don't know what he's done wrong, or literally it was a rib or whatever. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise you though, would it, if it was a rib? But he's obviously meant to chase him all the way up the ramp and further into it backstage, isn't he? But it just dies, and then you end up seeing Hogan chasing him on foot. To be fair, he didn't improvise well. He didn't just, like, imagine nowadays if that was a wrestler, they'd just sit there, wouldn't they? And they'd be deers lost in the headlights, wouldn't they? And something would have to happen. At least Hogan got up and just ran after him, you know what I mean, to make some sort of sense of it. But how funny is it, Andy? It is hilarious.
What I enjoyed about this was when he stopped, try to get the bike started, and you mentioned he walked off to chase after Taker. It goes back to JR and the King
stalling Andy for time,
stalling for time. And you think more, mainly in Lawler's head, he's fucking laughing his cock off.
Oh, surely, yeah.
But next minute, you hear the bike revving again. It's like, oh shit! Hogan's gone back to the bike, manages to trundle off, but once he gets in the backstage area, it just keeps stopping and starting the bike. It's
hilarious. It is. It's fucking gold. But then it carries on, doesn't it? Because then he's chasing him backstage. And this is the best for me. Like, once again, talking about this, like, especially in this era, there's loads of them. You know, there's later on where Steve Austin goes to the karaoke bar and Eddie Guerrero's in there. There's these long segments, like we mentioned earlier. And this is a long one because you've got that whole promo up the ramp, which turns into the chase backstage, which is a proper cliffhanger on an advert of, like, Hogan basically gets off the bike, doesn't he? Randomly, like, you know, just happens to be there, a big fucking lorry. It just happens to be there, parked on its own. And Hogan looks at it and gets in it, and it's like, if you don't come here now, I'm going to run your bike. And that's the cliffhanger we're getting as we go for a break. And then it cuts back, and Hogan's still revving in the lorry. So you're looking at like nearly 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes with ads, maybe longer, of all this segments. It's crazy, and it's like a long portions of the show. Like, you wouldn't even get that today, I don't think.
And 10 minutes of that 20 is Hogan fucking around with vehicles.
It is.
Try to get the thing started.
Love it.
He had previous though with a lorry, didn't he?
The Rock,
the Rock. Yeah.
So and then it cuts back, obviously, doesn't it? From the break, he's had enough, and then he runs over Taker's bike with the big lorry, and Taker's not a happy man, is he? As we'd find out.
Next up, we have Edge backstage. This is on SmackDown, trying on all of Hulk's gear with some pretty big arms, as he tries to do with the 24-inch. No.
Yeah, this was always a little. I liked it though. Like, it's obviously a fan growing up playing into obviously they win the tag titles a couple of months later down the line as well. So yeah, enjoyed it and for what it was.
They did one with Kane as well, didn't they?
Kane, Rock, and Hogan. This was before this. Yeah, this was before this.
Yeah, but Edge was like a proper fanboy, weren't he?
Exactly, yeah.
He's mentioned about Mania.
He's in the Sky Dome. He's near the front row, in the front section at the Sky Dome, WrestleMania 6. Like, but he was on Hogan's side against Warrior, and obviously Warrior got the victory that night, so he weren't happy. It was old Adam.
Fucking made him money, that bloody young Edge. So the tag match was Hogan and Edge versus Angle and Jericho, but it ends in a schmoz again as Triple H smashes everyone with a sledgehammer. I did put. You'd think this bloke is headlining.
Yeah, typical Triple H, Andy. Though, you know, tries to stick up for him before with it being over the title, but he always comes out on top and everything, doesn't he, in these angles? And some would say, well, not many would say, sometimes rightfully so, but most of the time it's just what you know, innit? How many times I've said on this podcast, it's just, even if out the goodness of his heart or he genuinely got booked as this, you just know too much, don't you, of what he's like. So it's always going to cloud your judgment, always.
Yeah, supposedly he don't like the spotlight, does Paul?
No, definitely not.
So Jonathan Coachman tries to get a comment from Undertaker about his bike, which is probably a bad thing to do. This is funny now. Hulk Hogan's fucking tired for riding a motorbike.
This is the one, Andy. I knew you'd absolutely piss yourself off this segment, because this is like, yeah, this is in, I won't go into it, I'll let you describe, but this is one where if anyone listening to this show sees the title and sees this feud, and if you remember anything about it, you've remembered this segment. This is the one that you will remember. Fucking hell, mate.
Yeah, so this is his hat. It's like a little nipple hat, isn't it? It's that tiny of a biker's hat.
And he's got a giant head as Hulk. Fucking giant fucking dome on him, like.
I know I've been known to have been called bus head in the past, but it's his lorry head, isn't it? So yeah, this is as Matty says, this is a segment where Taker ties Hogan to the bike and ranks him along the floor around the building. There's a great gif like online. This
is gold, mate. This is like, if you call it wrestle crap, so be it. This is just fucking hilarious. Like, it's one of them, like, obviously on paper it sounds great that like you're getting dragged along, but it just doesn't look like it hurts. It looks like he's having a good time. If I want to do it, tie me up and take me around the building like that. It just doesn't look like it hurts, and it should. Once again, on paper, this is like, oh yeah, get me revenge. A biker dragging someone, taking the piss, and basically torturing them along the gravel or the concrete, whatever you want to say. But as I say, he's on a shiny floor, just like enjoying himself, it looks like, and until the end, where he once again casually goes into a few lead pipes and empty cardboard boxes. It's like, yeah, but it's hilarious. You can't. There's not any other way. It's gold. It's fucking gold.
God help if it were carpeted floor.
Oh, the carpet burns and the friction burns. Don't get me wrong, but as I say, it's that shiny. Sign me up. I'll take that. I want to do that. It looks fun.
Question here: what did this ever get found out whether it was Hogan who was doing this stunt like Tom Cruise?
Yeah, I think it's Hogan once again, because why wouldn't you do, like, honestly, like, I think it is. I've tried looking, and even on the shots where I'm no editor, or I'm no fucking, whatever you want to call it, but it looks like it's him. Even from the long shots where it's turned the corner, it's his face. It looks like Hogan. I think it is. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he did, as you say, he did Tom Cruise. He's hardly jumping from fucking a building to a building or hanging out of a plane. He's having a great time going across a lovely, shiny, clean floor. Flat as anything. Just sliding along on his leather jacket, padded, protected, with his helmet as well. Yeah, it looks like there's wheels even in that fucking leather jacket, doesn't it? It looks like there's wheels been like planted in there to make him go even, like. But yeah, I reckon it's him. What do you think?
Well, unless they paid for like Dave Sullivan, or his brother, his nephew
Horace. Put a blonde wig on Horace.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I think, to be honest, I do think it were him.
Yeah, I do.
Doing the old shebang. I sort of think, because Undertaker, we'd known from interviews like recently. Don't think he got on with Hogan, did he?
He hates him. At that one Dead Man show I went to in Vegas, Andy, where there's obviously one allowed your phone or not, or to record or take pictures. He was hating Hogan at that. Like, he was proper laying into him. Not even and it was quite funny that he takes the piss out of himself, Undertaker, and when he's taking the piss out of other people, it's like in jest. Obviously, he wasn't with Hogan. You could tell he meant it. Like, he didn't like him one bit.
Yeah, which is a bit strange, because a lot what they get called out for, Hogan and Taker, the very like Trump supporters, aren't they? So you think they'd be like.
But it goes back from when, as Taker says, I think it all comes from what we touched on earlier, a year into WWF, where you're trying to make a name, and Hogan's acting like he's broke his neck off the tombstone at Survivor Series, where it's like at least 29 million inches off the canvas, off the chair. It's like the most safest tombstone, and as soon as he hits, I think you got me, brother, like me neck, like. You wouldn't do that to someone, would you? Who's just started it, and he probably obviously hasn't forgot that, like, and in ways, fair play to him for not forgetting that. That'd do my head in.
So after he's been dragged around along the floor, miraculous recovery now on SmackDown, where he's in Montreal. I think it must have been all the cheers what took all the pain away, but hardly selling the effects here, Matty.
No, that's it. Why would you though, Andy? It looked fun. Why would it didn't it? It's funny because it just, once again, on paper, it's the greatest idea, but do it outside, get a stunt guy or shoot it from different angles, make it look good on concrete and gravel, and that's where you did it. But as I say, why would he be selling it like no one didn't come out doing backflips or doing a Shawn Michaels dancing to the ring? You know what I mean?
So this is a point where Hogan and Vince get into it. It's still a bit away from their fighting at the Mania after, isn't it? 19.
Yeah, it is. It's but they always had that tension, didn't they? On the thing when when he's turned back to the red and yellow, he's like, Vince doesn't want it on TV. Like, obviously behind the scenes loving it, but doesn't want it on TV. Wants to stop it all. But yeah, they had a few interactions like this until obviously the big feud, as you say, a year later at Mania.
Yeah. So they get into it with Hogan dropping the big leg to a monster pop. This crowd, Canadian crowds in general, are always well up for it.
And Montreal, obviously, do you remember from '97 as well what happened? So it's always going to go down well there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What did happen, Andy, actually, in '97 in Montreal? Do you know? Do you know any podcast networks that have covered it, or got a whole month dedicated to it? No, me neither.
To death, mate. To death. So we actually get to the match itself at Judgment Day. So Undertaker comes out to Dead Man Walking, but no lyrics to this version.
Yeah, this is on Anthology though, isn't it? Both versions are on Anthology, disc 3. Obviously, Dead Now for is it called Dead Now Forever? Or no, that's not what the 3 discs are called. Or do you think it's just Federation Years, Attitude Years, and nowadays I think it's called. Yeah. And both versions are on it yet. But once again, Andy, hopefully this is gonna, it's gonna be somewhere. If we can use musics anymore, though, Andy. I think they're similar to ourselves. But I was gonna say try and find a version of that we could use at the start with the no lyrics in. But yeah, it was well, I prefer the one you're gonna pay though with the lyrics, Andy. Unbelievable stuff.
You're gonna be a
big tune, mate. Want to get every time it comes on, I just want to get the Jack Daniels and the Dominoes out.
Play a bit of Bones as ever.
Bones, lah. Oh yeah. We'll have a game on Saturday, Andy. I'll bring the Bones. We'll have a game, mate, to get that photo shot just of all of us playing Bones. No, that's gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna buy that. Don't worry.
And this match, it's, how can I say, it's under 15 minutes for a main event.
Yeah. Which you'd want, though, to be fair, like out of these two at this point, you'd want that, wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Plus it's
not like Triple H taking him like a backlash to like a 20-odd minute win.
Yeah, so it's basically following the Triple H Chris Jericho Hell in a Cell match. Well, that were 2 matches before this.
Yeah.
You want to know what were the buffer once again?
It was Billy and Chuck, wasn't it?
Billy and Chuck again against. Yeah. So it was Rico and Fatu Rikishi in a tag match as the buffer, but the Triple H Jericho match, which, to be honest, isn't a bad Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not their best match. Their best match for me will always be the Last Man Standing match. A fully loaded 2000. Fucking love that match. Really fucking good. But that is it's Triple H Jericho Hell in a Cell. I think the pinfall takes place on top of the cage, doesn't it?
Pedigree it does. Yeah, Pedigree. Yeah.
I think there's a 2x4 covered the flaming 2x4, isn't he, in that as well? So they pull out all the stops, like. But yeah, it's good.
It's still at the stage of Hell in the Cells where everyone expected, someone's getting chucked off,
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's
the Foley thing set a precedent, didn't it?
Of course.
But talking about Jericho and Triple H matches, one of my favourite is still the one where he won the title on that Raw, and then he got
yeah. Yeah, no, good moment that, of course, and a good match, yeah. But that last man stand, Andy, that's brilliant. That's one of the best for me.
So this match, as I mentioned, under 15 minutes, it is what you'd sort of expect. A bit of walk and brawl, but there's a lot of early strikes off with the weight belt, so like both laying it into each other.
Yeah.
You have a point where Hogan back body drops Taker. Did you also catch what Undertaker's nickname was at the time here? What it was?
Is this Bugger Red?
No.
Is it? Ooh, go on.
The Red Devil.
Hard to say now. That's because I know he was Big Red, Bugger Red, Texas Red. He was everywhere.
Well, keep that in mind for later on, Matty, because I will be asking you a question.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that now.
Yeah. So we have punch, boots, axe handle, big boot by Hogan, but leg drop is reversed.
Wait there, Andy. Some would say that's proper work. Strikes. Some would say that's proper work, mate.
Yeah, laying it in. So we have a big boot by Hogan, but the leg drop gets reversed into a half crab. So Michael Oku learned all his tricks of the trade from the Undertaker.
See what you're saying here, Andy. Of course, Undertaker's a pioneer, mate. What a counter.
Pioneer of grapple fuck, innit?
Where's your stuff, your hidden blades, stuff your pile drivers off the top rope? That's what we want, Andy. Good, solid counters there, mate, into submissions. Gareth would be proud. He would be very proud.
Limber as well, yeah. Taker getting crotched on the rope, but Hogan gets choke slammed. Only two. I think this is the first one where he didn't want to go up.
Oh, how bad's it? Like, I always remember this match for them choke slams, because once we get to it a bit, when Taker goes for the match with him, he's fucking hating him. He just, because it's like, I'm going to win the title here, Terry. Please at least fucking, like, fall. You know what I mean? Or just get some sort of fucking elevation. Jesus Christ.
But then again, like his knee, like Hogan's knees would have been a bit like dust at this point, wouldn't they?
Yeah, of course. His hips in it and his back, Andy, to be fair, like all them leg drops and all the, you know, that's what it is, isn't it? Just hitting that leg drop night after night after night for what, 20 odd years? Like it's caught up with them, didn't it?
Yeah, so after this, leg drop hits again, 1-2, Taker kicks out. You have a jumping DDT by Taker. It's always a good maneuver.
I love it. Love it. He always used to do it to Yokozuna because it looked great how big Yokozuna was when he spun. I love that, yeah. Always love that Taker DDT. When I used to backyard wrestle, that was one of my moves, Andy, just to let you know.
Oh, you used the Taker DDT?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I remember the Rocks one. We used to spin over the crucifix one. We used to do that as well. It was a bit slower. He was a bit slower than the Rocks, like, but he used to do it.
Say, fucking hell, you had some athleticism there, Matthew.
Always. For a big guy, Andy, always, mate. Always back myself in the athleticism stakes.
Deceptive.
Exactly.
So Vince comes out then. He gets planted, but Taker clocks Hogan with a chair.
Yeah, definitely.
And as Matthew mentioned, he gets him up eventually for the choke slam. 1, 2, 3, and we have a new champion, the Undertaker.
Yeah, well, you know, as we said there, Andy, you know, not as bad as you say. You know, I think you agree, though. You're not as bad as you'd expect. Not great by any means. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying go out there and watch this match by any means, but not as bad as you'd think with these two at this stage of the game as well. And I say kept relatively short. New champion, bit of a schmaz at the end, but you know what you'd expect, really. You know, so like fair play, yeah. And obviously at the time I was so wanted Taker to win so much, so I was I remember staying up for this one live, yeah, and going into was we in our, I think we got doing our GCSEs at the time. I think we were off the next day, actually, yeah. So I didn't have to go into their school. That's why I stayed in my dad's, yeah, and watched this live. And I was a happy man going to bed at 4 a.m, mate. Happy boy, should I say?
This would have been a Sky one, this, wouldn't it?
Definitely, yeah, with
Yeah,
Sky,
'cause
yeah.
Backlash with the Channel 4.
Yeah.
Always seem to
Or
remember.
box office then. I think it was box office by then, and in 02. Channel
Yeah.
4 was 00001, weren't it? So this was the box office then, yeah.
That was always a monthly conversation with me dad.
Yeah.
Wrestling on this weekend, or I'd try and not say anything about it. And then the Sky bill had come a couple of months after. What's this bloody 1999? I
Yeah.
told you about it, Dad. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It would, especially when they them branded pay-per-view. So it was one every month, weren't it?
Yeah.
Spending an arm and a leg on them
Yeah.
pay-per-views.
Same here, mate. Like, they genuinely just fucking weren't even thinking about it in the end, though. As you say, they were just coming that thick and fast. Like, especially in like 09, and they was like 2 a month, maybe 2 every like fucking 3 weeks at a point, weren't they? In 09. So it was like it was what it was.
God help if you had to do it now, to say, what time of recording they got 3 in a weekend.
You just couldn't. They'd be just the streamings just took over, and it dodgy boxes, the lot, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's just fire sticks. It's just took over.
One thing, I was actually looking up the ages here. We're not doing an age game this time, but Undertaker is 37 at this stage.
Younger than me. Fucking hell.
Yeah. And you think, fucking hell, he's had a good career up until this point.
Oh, yeah. That's what I mean. Say what you want about him, of course, but like, he was done when he Invasion time. You heard them retirement rumours, and he looked terrible with the long red hair. He put a bit of beef on. He's wearing arsed, obviously. But that's why, he looked terrible.
Weren't it? The
Invasion. All that stuff he was terrible. But then once the Invasion stopped and he got this big evil push, it did reinvigorate him, and he cut the hair. He had started having better matches in there, like a Jeff Hardy, a Van Damme, all these types of Ric Flair at WrestleMania, going on to the Brock Lesnar stuff. So it reinvigorated him, and that's why I like this period, because it got him out of them doldrums for me, where he was. I liked him, yeah, but I was just going on the name there because I had liked him, but I was happy to see him actually doing better in 2002 for sure. Like,
and Hogan's not 50.
Fucking hell. Has he ever been 50, Andy? He was 50 in about 1990, wasn't he?
48.
Yeah, 48. What, just a year older than Cardiff and JP?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Okay, now, yeah, so he's 71 nowadays. He's Terry.
Terry, 71, lah. Fucking hell.
So, what's our opinion of this? Shite or not shite? That is the question.
You know what, and I'm gonna, because it was so short, the feud and the match, because it was hilarious, and because there was actually some, obviously that hilarious segment on the back of the bike where he's tied, overall that segment was shite, but it was funny. But the rest of it, and I enjoyed it. I thought there was just some good, once again, because there probably wasn't much of it. Like we said, that if this went on for like 8 weeks, probably would have been shite. But I think it was that short that you had a good busted open angle. You had obviously Hogan breaking down on the bike on the ramp, but running the bike over. I enjoyed that type of shite, though, and that type of nonsense. So that's good, a thumbs up for me. And obviously the stuff on the back of the bike getting tied around is funny. So, and the match is inoffensive, really. Once again, not great. But yeah, you know what? I'm going to say not shite, Andy. I'm going to give the lads the benefit of the doubt this month. What about yourself?
I think for a 1 month and done feud, there's a lot crammed in there. There's a lot of comedy.
Yeah, unintentionally, mind, like, yeah, but
unintentionally. But
was you watching it going like that? That's what I'm saying. The whole point. Was you watching this going, fuck me, this is shite? We wasn't, was we?
No,
we wasn't.
No, because you've got hot crowds, you've got a bit of blood.
Vehicles.
Like the bike not starting. You got Hogan being dragged around on the bike.
Yeah.
And the match itself being short but sweet and not outstaying its welcome.
Yeah. There you go. Who'd have thought it, Andy? Who would have thought this?
Not shite. Not shite. I think we're changing in our old ways. So there you go. That's shite or not shite done with. But what I wanted to ask you, Matty, was how many nicknames has The Undertaker had during his career?
I mean, I couldn't tell you the number, but if you want me to name some of them and list some of them, I mean, I'll go for that.
Well, if you've got what's it, a number.
Okay, I reckon I can definitely. Just like what's that show? Used to love that Who Dares Wins, where you'd put a bid in and then you'd go higher. I'll go 20. I can name 20 nicknames easily.
Oh, yeah. So you're near enough, correct?
Yeah, I can.
22.
What's this took off Wikipedia?
Yeah, so it was some video. 22 nicknames he'd had.
So have you got? Do you want to tick them off as we go along, or do you on your phone or something?
Well, I've got some of the names here.
All right. Well, I'll go Big Evil.
Yeah.
Big Red. That there. Oh, these official, not JR ones. These like what these guys are.
Official. I'll give you some of the names anyway, Matty. So Dead Man.
Yeah, Lord of Darkness.
Lord of Darkness, Minister of Darkness.
Personification of Evil.
Yeah, correct.
That's
Bugger Red.
American Badass.
That's still the best one, isn't it? Actually, on Wikipedia, it says a nickname used by Jim Ross was a reference to his natural red hair color and was a play on the name of a former University of Texas linebacker, Tommy Nobis.
It's the best one, Bugger Red it is. But American Badass, Andy, got to be there, of course.
Yeah.
Go on, any others?
Big Evil.
Big Evil, yeah.
What else has he had? American Badass, The Phenom.
Phenom, obviously, yeah.
The Last Outlaw.
Yeah.
The Demon of Death Valley.
So what I'm trying to think of, like
the Master of Mind Games.
Okay.
He was also a big dog as well of the yard.
Oh yeah, This Is My Yard. Yeah, the big dog. Yeah, the original. So Roman stole that off him after he beat him at WrestleMania, didn't he?
Yeah, in an absolute dreadful match.
Any others? We must. It's about 12 to 15. Then
yeah, Red Devil.
Red Devil. Yeah. Oh, what else? There must be loads of early doors. Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm thinking back in like 91, 92, yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of others now, Andy.
It could have been called the King of Dominoes for all we know.
The pizzas or the game.
I couldn't imagine him ordering Dominoes with a few beers and.
What pizza do you reckon he'd get? What pizza do you reckon the Undertaker would get on if he went to Domino's? Meat feast. Got to be a meat feast guy, Harry. It's got to be. Got to eat loads of red meat, just like the sausage and the fucking pepperoni. All that's on the.
He'd be meat feast, wouldn't he?
Meat feast.
I couldn't imagine him being a pineapple man.
Imagine being a Benno guy and no cheese. Not happening. Not happening. Undertaker's watched that.
So there we go. That's the Undertaker's pizza toppings done with. Matty, as ever,
yes.
What would you like to plug? And have you memorised it this month?
What do you think? Do you think I'll ever memorise it, Andy? No, I never will. You can find me on the GRAPPL network. Search GRAPPL there. We've had a few technical issues as of late, but they should be up and running. Benno doing the art graft there, getting them all back together. But join us on patreon.com/GRAPPL, where we talk about everything, Andy, don't we? We try and give a bit of variety each month, with our Patreon shows. We have a King of the Mountain each month. One of our special Patreons comes on and talks about what they want to talk about with us as well. We have Spotlight there on YouTube. If you can search on GRAPPL as well on Spotlight on YouTube every week, covering the wrestling news in the wrestling world. And we have Weekend Show also on the Patreon. Hopefully, I'm doing a better job this time around of sharing this. And yeah, I'll plug Brett's show as well. Me and GRAPPL Gareth do a monthly show. You can search that on YouTube as well for free. Monthly show covering everything Bret the Hitman had. We talk about 2 matches each month, Andy, a hidden gem, and obviously a well-known match from Bret's career, and talk the story and all the surroundings, real life and on telly, about all the surroundings of them matches. It's we're very proud of that podcast, and I am personally myself. So if anyone can check that out and give us a like and a comment anywhere you can, it would be much appreciated. But yeah, I think that's it, Andy. Where you find me, obviously find me as well with your good self here, Andy. Every bi-monthly, as we say on covering shite in the wrestling world, mate.
Yeah, and to be honest, if it wasn't called Bretro, the show should have been called Sternum First.
It should have been called Sternum First, mate. So you're a true listener there, Andy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, my friend.
I'm even nicking that for a couple of my shows. Like once I see that maneuver, it's like
fair play.
Sternum
Fair play
First.
to you. Fair play.
As ever, you can follow me on X at Oggy Part 3, this podcast at GCP Podcast 1. Go back and listen to the back catalogue of shites and mucks. Plenty going on. Not to do Matty's bit, but we're nearly 20 episodes into this.
Yeah.
Over 3 series.
It shows you, mate, time as well. Like, where does it go, mate? What is it? Let's get Christopher Nolan on the phone so we can explain it and make movies about it even more so, mate, because it's just a bizarre, as you say there, mate, 20 episodes a year. Crazy. Where does it go, mate?
Yeah, and it was all a small idea in a pub in Newcastle. That's where it was.
It was.
You can also go and listen back to the back catalogue of mine and Kieran's work, covering UWA, Transatlantic Wrestling Challenge, and currently working a Reslow from 1990s Wales, where we've got some interesting stuff coming up on the next episode. Talk about an Orig Williams music video, Bryn Fonn being the Robbie Williams of Wales in the 90s. And some other fun stuff on there. And also go and listen to the other podcast I do, Nothing Can Like It, with Kieran and Eddie Sideburns. That's at FWA Pod. So, Matty, thanks very much for your time. Yes. And next time on Shite episode 5, we'll be covering Raven versus Jeff Jarrett from NWA TNA, one of the weekly pay-per-views. That's the one where Raven should have won the title, and joining us will be a special guest. It's one of Matty's colleagues on the Grapple Network. It's our JP, who's not been on since we got him pissed up in Oxford. So that should be a fun one to look forward to.
That should be a cracking, funny time when JP always is when JP's about. So really looking forward to that.
Great stuff. Thanks very much, everyone, for listening, and goodbye.
Ta-da.